Hi, so today we're going to look at an open source video editing application called OpenShot Video Editor. Essentially, open source means that number one, it's free, it doesn't cost anything to use, and number two, it's free to develop. If you're a software developer, you can go in and change it and add things, and it won't violate the licensing agreement. So we're going to look at how we can edit video. Sometimes you just need to add a little more. A lot of times you can just upload a video and you don't want to bother with doing anything, but once in a while you want to make something special. You want to add a little bit more, maybe add some graphics or some extra content and make it a little bit more than what it is. And so with OpenShot Video Editor, you can do that very easily. This is a simple learning curve. It's an easy tool to use, and it's very, very, very stable and very, very popular right now. So let's go ahead and go to the desktop. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and look at the OpenShot Video Editor and see if we can put together some simple clips. I'll kind of walk you through the interface and then we'll go on from there. Top menu up here is about what you'd expect. The file menu opens, closes, and saves projects and allows you to import files. The edit menu is basically for preferences. If you click on that, you can edit the way that the program works. The title menu allows you to add titles, regular text titles or animated titles. The view menu allows you to have a full screen view of the application. It allows you to turn the toolbar on and off. That gives you a simple and an advanced view, and then it will allow you to dock the various and sundry toolbars that you see here. Finally, the help, basically exactly what you expect. There's a tutorial, there's contents, and there's a place to donate. Remember, this is open source. It's basically free, but the developers can use the money because they're working for free, essentially. Toolbar here allows you to create new projects. This is essentially the file menu duplicated. The section here is where your files are stored. The project files, your video clips, your audio clips, and if you have still images, all those will be stored in here. This area here is your video preview. These are the play controls. You can go forward, play, fast forward, and then jump to the end, or fast rewind and jump to the start. This button allows you to take screenshots of the current frame and add them to your project. The timeline down here at the bottom, there are currently 5 tracks, but you can use this button to add more tracks. The snapping tool enables you to put 2 clips together and have them automatically click. The razor tool lets you cut clips. The marker allows you to add markers to your clips so that if you want to add something later, you'll have a marker and know where to put it. These previous keyframes and next keyframes will allow you to move through the keyframes. And then finally, this centers the playhead in the timeline. So those are the controls for the most part. It's a very simple audio interface compared to some, but it's very effective. Let's go ahead and see if we can add a couple of clips together. So first of all, we want to go up in File and import some files. So I'm going to import a piece that I did earlier, which is the introduction to this video. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to import the Grayson stinger that I created a long time ago. And I'm going to add those two together. So the first thing you want to do down here in the tracks in the timeline, the first video that we want to add will go down here. Make sure that your playhead is all the way to the left. Make sure it's at 0, because if it's not, it's going to cause problems. That's really kind of an issue right there. And then make sure that your track is pulled all the way to the side. All right, we can preview it, see what we have. So today we're going to look at an open source video editing application. All right, that's what we expect. Now, I don't necessarily want that. Stop. So let's go ahead and go to desktop. What I want is to add a clip right there. That's the place I want to add it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my razor tool. I'm going to clip on that line. And then I'm going to get rid of those pieces. Whoop. That piece right there, I'm going to clear it off so that now my track ends there. All right, now I'm going to push the stinger on the end. And I'm going to make sure that they click together. To do that, I need to push, oops, don't want to shorten it. There we go. Make sure you're not shortening things. When you have the cursor looks like this with a two-headed arrow, that's shortening the length of the clip. When it's like that with the four-headed arrow, then you can move it. And notice when I put them close together, they click. That's this click button here, this snapping enabled. So let's see what the transition looks like. So let's go ahead and go to desktop. All right. As you can see, the transition works perfectly fine. Okay, so once we've gotten our clips put together, we can go in and edit as we choose. I'm going to say let's go ahead and add some graphics. Let's go ahead and put in an emoji, for example. Essentially what we want to do is find the place where you want to put your graphics. So with OpenShot Video Editor, that we're using this is a simple learning curve. It's an easy tool to use. Okay, so a simple learning curve, an easy tool to use. So let's go ahead and add a smiley face in there because it is a very simple tool to use. So let's go ahead and let's take this this smiley face here. We're going to put it down, and you drag it down into the timeline on the next track because we want it to be visible. We want it to be visible when this is playing, but at the same time we don't want it to be big and cover the entire screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to resize it. So these boxes here, this warps it, changes it sideways, kind of rotates it. This moves it around, and this one resizes it. Now make sure that you don't move this playhead over anywhere over the track, because if you do, then this will resize in an animated fashion. We don't want it to do that. We just want it to start out resized. So we want to make sure the playhead just clicks onto the graphic there. All right, and let's go ahead and hold down. We're going to hold down the Shift key, and we're going to click down here in this handle box, and we're going to resize the deal to about there, and we're going to move it over here beside me. And I think I ended up with a frame anyway, didn't I? Let's see. Learning curve, it's an easy tool to use. Yeah, I did. That's what I was afraid of. See, that's what we don't want. We don't want it to animate over to the side. So let's try that again. Get the smiley face. Where'd that smiley face go? And we want it to just click. There we go. Now let's resize it. We want it to just be on the edge, but we don't want it to be touching. So Shift key, resize it, and we're going to put it over here on the whiteboard next to me. Make sure the little hand is moving there. Or you don't want to move the center point, but you do want to move the picture. So let's move it like that. Okay, and you'll notice down here we didn't get any keyframes. That means it's not going to animate. It's just going to stay in size. So let's go ahead and preview our results. All right, so that's where I want that to stop. So we're going to come into our second track, and we're going to shorten that to the end. We're going to shorten that to the timeline here, And once we do that, we'll preview it again.
This is a simple learning curve. It's an easy tool to use. It's very, very, very stable, very, very popular.
All right, so once we've done that, now we've added some graphics, we've got our transition here, we've got our two clips together. Let's go ahead and add another clip, shall we? So let's go back to Project Files. And I'm going to get rid of that one since we never used it. Oops. Pardon me, I'm going to get rid of that one since we never used it. Which one of these is it? There we go. Okay. Now let's import another file, and the one I'm going to import is the second part of the one we're just working on right now. Okay, that's one out there. Okay, all right, there we go. And so now I'm going to add this to our first track. And I'm going to pull it up evenly where it clicks. There we go. So now let's preview what our transition looks like.
Very, very, very stable. Very, very popular. So let's go ahead and go to the desktop. All right, guys. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the OpenShot Video Editor and see if we can put together some simple clips. Kind of walk you through the.
All right. So as you can see, we are able to put together some simple clips. Essentially what I'm doing is recording these one at a time and then placing them into the timeline. So let's see, I actually added too much to this one and I want to see where I messed up, so we need to go back and find out where I need to cut this clip off. I can scroll through the timeline using this blue bar down here. So I'm going to continue to scroll until I get to the point where I got those clips added together. And that's where I'm going to stop. All right, right about there.
All right, now I'm going to push the stinger on the end. Make sure that they clip together. That to make sure you're not shortening things. We have the
All right, so once I've gotten the end of my video, I will clip it there and put another stinger in.
Notice when I put them close together, they click. That's this clip button here. This is standing. So let's see what the transition looks like. All right. As you can see, the transition is perfectly fine.
All right, so let's go ahead and clip off the rest of this, and we're going to use the razor tool again. We're going to make our cut. It made our cut there. I hope it did. And let's see if we can, I guess it didn't cut. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that cut. To get rid of the razor tool, we click back on it again. So once we do that, then let's remove this from the project. And now we can add another transition. So here's our Grayson Stinger. We're going to pull that down, put it in the project, and let's see what it looks like. And it works perfectly. All right, so as you can see, this is a pretty easily managed tool. It's fairly simple to use. Once you have completed your tracks and have everything like you want it, then you'll use this red button here to export your video into an MP4 or whatever format that you want to do. I recommend H.264 is always a good way to go. And then once you've done that, you want to do high quality. You can change the frame rate. I don't recommend it. And then you'd export video, and at that point you'd be done. Then you could upload to YouTube or to whatever service you're uploading to, or do whatever it is that you want to do with your videos. So that is OpenShot Video Editor in a nutshell. Okay, I hope that was helpful. This is a really useful little tool. It doesn't cost anything, and it's very, very easy to use. So if you're not into Premiere Pro or one of the more expensive heavyweight video editors, this one is perfectly acceptable. It does a good job. It has enough capability to keep you interested for the duration, and it is, like I say, the price is definitely right on this one. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about Open Video Editor or OpenShot Video Editor or any of these other tools that have been mentioned here, I can be reached yr@grayson.edu, or my extension is 8756. So let me know if I can help, and have a great day.